Five-Fingered Mary, America. I'm Zach Nanimus.
Johnny Dim.
That was a quote from Hellboy 2004.
Oh.
By the way.
Nice.
And welcome to the WarPod, the official podcast of the Houston Nerdcasting Collective.
No, it's not.
Of the Warlocks Entertainment System, your one-stop shop for pop culture and nerd news around the Houston area and the world. Today we're talking about just whatever floats our boat, and it happens to be what we were talking about last week. Because if Limbaugh can do it, so can we. Okay.
But the audience score, if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, is 62% for Hellboy. That's a little bit better.
I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes in any way.
I know
anymore.
But
they've ruined their reputation.
Have they though?
Yes.
What started it for you?
When they were literally deleting reviews.
User reviews or
yes, user reviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I said I was going to do was actually look at some of the reviews and see why these people didn't like it. So we're going to the critics.
The splatometer.
Yeah. Okay. Just some headlines here. They usually take
These are snapshots.
Yeah. If it was my call, I'd write nothing about the movie and leave this space blank for readers' notes. Interesting.
Readers' notes?
Readers of probably whatever publication he
Look at
published.
this cowlick I cannot get rid of.
That's fun.
Yeah. I look awful today.
Did you just wake up?
No. It took hours to get to this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
An R-rated slog that's heavy on bad attitude and creative dismemberments and completely missing the humane core of Mignola's original story. So probably the original comic.
Okay.
See what he did there with creative dismemberments? Because the witch is dismembered. I think that's what he was doing.
I think he's just talking about how a lot of people get murked in this movie.
That's true. This all hurdles by the way, that was David Sims. He's a top critic. This all hurdles as a relentless, unforgiving pace glued together with many crunchy guitar licks. You don't so much as watch this movie as submit to being pummeled by it. That was
No one is saying bad things about this movie. I don't understand the score. Creative dismemberments. Being pummeled by rock and guitar licks.
It's a metal
what movies
movie.
ought to be.
And this one pummeled us especially hard because the volume was so loud in our theater.
Oh, God. Okay.
But, so this was Katie Walsh, and she gave it a 2 out of 4. Is that a thing? That's not a normal... Okay.
Yeah.
Watching Hellboy is my new personal idea of hell. Get a 0 out of 4 rating.
Okay. I mean, hey, check YouTube.
Okay.
See if anybody's engaging with us. And see if they saw Hellboy and what they wanna if they want to give their 2 cents as to why it's such a bad movie.
And I know someone. Well, Justin.
I need some ID, love.
Nope. You stop. You stop.
Yeah. Go to our website on quitecontrary.com.
Oh wait.
No, it's not gonna work because you got to go to.
I don't want to do this here. I want to do this here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to show every.
Yeah, I got this here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no one on here yet.
Aw. 2 are watching though. One of them's us.
You want to invite everybody in the world?
Yes, I would actually. Go ahead. There's not just an invite everybody button. That is the lamest thing I've ever heard. Did you just invite me? Is that the buzz I got in my packet?
You told me to invite everybody. I'm inviting everybody.
No, that's something else. Okay, so everybody hated Hellboy, and you're done for liking it.
That's unfortunate.
So there you go. Johnny,
Yes, sir.
what you been playing?
I haven't been playing anything.
Have you been playing
I've been
Fatherhood?
I've been playing Fatherhood. I've been playing Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator again because I had to make a thing because someone wanted a T-shirt. I already showed these guys. In the pre-show.
Okay, I'll check it out later.
Yeah.
At the early bird special?
In the early bird special, I went over some of it, and I also showed them which T-shirt I'm printing up for Comic Palooza. So, Rockets fans, you got a thing to look forward to.
The beard?
Yeah.
You still drumming that old beat?
Yeah, it's printed. I'm printing it up on T-shirts. and they're going to be available. That's what I'm going to be. That's going to have. Okay, there's no comments on the Facebook, but
Yes.
I was telling people about, and I wanted to tell you this.
Okay.
For people in the show proper, I did watch. I wanted to bring something to the show, something I had ingested, entertainment-wise, to talk about. So I watched something that piqued my interest a week or so ago, and that was The Headhunter. It is a movie. It's a 2018 movie that came out. It hit my radar when I saw this article pop up. That said something about The Headhunter being like what a Skyrim movie would look like. And I was like, well, that's interesting.
A Skyrim movie would have the title Skyrim. Like, that's one of the main things it would.
Yeah, but they're talking about aesthetically what this movie, it did look similar because it had the main character wears the helmet that became a big part of the marketing push for Skyrim.
The downward horn thing.
Yeah, he didn't
never wear.
Well, he didn't actually have the horns, but he did have the helmet that came over with the eyelets, which seemed similar. And what was interesting, I didn't talk about this earlier. The movie shows the main character, doing a lot of things. There's only like 2 actual actors that you see on screen into the entire movie. Mm-hmm. The main character, he's doing stuff you would do in Skyrim,
like
crafting. He's crafting things. He's creating potions. He's doing woodworking. He's doing armor smithing.
Is this a montage? Like,
it's the whole movie.
They got money playing like in Hellboy. And they just...
Well, the thing is, the movie is I could tell because of what they chose to show, what scenes they chose to put into the movie. Like, I'm like, this is a low budget movie. Like, this is super low budget. It looks fantastic, but you can tell because they.
Does it?
Yeah.
You've described like no less than 5 individual types of crafting.
Mm-hmm.
How do you throw that into a movie and keep it engaging and action-packed without it being...
Oh, it's not action-packed. I never said it was action-packed.
Okay. You know, a Skyrim movie would look like a lot of action.
Correct. I didn't say this was Skyrim on the screen. It just looks similar. It's reminiscent of a Skyrim character and universe.
I think that it is set in... I think that it looks like a Skyrim movie in so much that the Kevin Costner Robin Hood Prince of Thieves looked like one. It just happened... People happen to be wearing brown and are outside.
You just want to shit on everything.
I'm just saying that it's not a Skyrim movie.
I didn't say it was a Skyrim movie. It's reminiscent. This article claimed it was. I didn't.
Well, who is it? I want to know.
All right, we'll find out later.
They're fools.
They're fools. They're absolutely fools.
Why is he wearing a helmet while he's trying to make rings?
I didn't say he was wearing the helmet while he was doing that.
So there's an action sequence. At some point,
there is a
fear for his head. There's
one action sequence in the entire movie.
You've seen the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
I liked it, but because this is a red flag. You would instantly go, why the hell didn't they show us this? It's because they didn't have the money to. Because he's a monster hunter. He hunts the head. He claims the heads of these monsters he hunts. There's a horn that goes off at different periods of the movie. Every time it goes off, he puts on his gear, puts on his helmet, his armor, and he grabs his sword and he walks out the door, right? And then he comes back. The next scene,
the audience waits with the camera in this empty room.
The next scene, he comes back and he's got the head. So they skip all the action every time. And the reason they're doing this is because they literally just could not afford these fight sequences.
Do you even get like the sounds of battle?
Sometimes.
So he answers a call to adventure, which is literally right outside his door, and you hear cling cling.
Oh no, not quite that. I'm just remembering a scene later in the movie where you see sound effects and then you see the results of afterwards. But
I've done that.
Yeah. So the thing is, this is what happens is he's basically getting contracts from the kingdom nearby, or kingdom I guess he belongs to. He lives well outside the city limits, well outside the keep, and you hear the horn, and you find that you see this later in the movie is that he goes through this open field. And there's a tree, and it's got an arrow in it, and it's got a contract that's been wrapped around the arrow.
Okay.
So that's how he gets his contracts. And you see he's got a book full of them, of these different contracts. It'll have a painting or some depiction of the creature that he's supposed to go after, and that's what he does. He just goes out and gets them.
How about instead of a monster, just dudes? They could have shown that because they could have just hired actors. Like maybe put him a little bit of fantasy makeup,
it wouldn't. They were going for a particular thing, and there's story reasons why they went with monsters, and I think that it just makes more sense.
Remember about were the monsters large? Is that part of it?
Not all of them. Not all of them
So
are
some
that
of them
large.
were human size.
Some were smaller.
So they could have literally just used camera tricks and special effects makeup.
Yeah, they could have tried.
Yeah.
But the way they did put it together, I thought was a little more visceral, and I appreciate the way they did do it. It's a movie I liked. A movie that a little kind of confused me at the end. I think I get it now, but I'm going to go back and watch it again because I think there's something I missed.
It's that cerebral?
Kind of.
Or is it just confusing?
It's one of those. Like, I was trying to do like a comparison. Like I think it has kind of like an M. Night Shyamalan twist, and there's stuff that you definitely. I caught some of them. I caught some of the hints throughout the movie, and I was like, because I didn't know what that meant at the time, and it wasn't until like 10 minutes after I watched the movie I was trying to scratch my head like, what? And then like, oh yeah, that thing that happened. It kind of adds up, but
now I have to watch this movie.
It's really interesting. It's an interesting movie. Anyway, that's
where can you find it? Tell everybody at home.
I don't know
how best. This is
I pirated it.
Best.
I
for a
totally
movie
illegally downloaded it.
You're the next Conan O'Brien. So if you like this movie, I just completely explained to you.
Well,
pirate it online.
Well, let's just do this.
Silkroad.com.
Don't.
Access the dark.
That was actually an MMORPG I played for a short while. It was called the Silk Road.
Because that was a real thing.
Yeah, it was a real thing.
Well, it was a physical thing.
Right. It was a trading road.
Yeah. That is Return to Oz.
I thought it would say something in here where you can get it, but it may not.
Like, is Frank watching something with something screeching in it, or is she laughing?
No, I think that's the movie. Her mom's in there too.
I met her mom.
Yeah.
She's weird.
Okay, you can buy it on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and Google Play.
I don't buy things on YouTube.
Well, you can. If you would like to. Otherwise, you can get it the way I did, and it's free.
Yeah. What do they call their service? RedTube?
Who?
YouTube when you buy it?
YouTube Red. YouTube Red is a subscription service where it gets rid of the...
Yeah, RedTube is just the...
That's porn.
What?
Yeah, don't go there. Not on our account. Wait, not on our account and not on our accounts.
All right, man.
Well, not on our account.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a stupid joke.
You're fuzzy in the back.
I know, thanks. I need a haircut.
I have been watching the Japanese...
Zach, what you been watching?
I've been watching the English subtitle, original Japanese language, One Piece.
You'll never finish.
I might. It's only, like 500 episodes?
It's a lot.
What's the total count?
It's a lot.
We can know
yeah,
this.
I can absolutely tell you that.
We can know this now. We have a weird background right now. It's just
I was about to change it, but you told me to do this.
How many episodes?
875.
That's not that many.
As of April 8th, 2018.
You know what? I think it might be a better use of my time and energy to just work hard enough to make the money to buy the manga instead. Because these get padded. They get padded quite a bit. I don't know how famous this is because a lot of people watch the anime for Full Metal Alchemist. A lot of them watched it rather than reading the manga.
Oh, sure.
And so something that happens in manga is some authors will put in like cute little stories in between the stories, especially. So when you buy like a manga book, that like they're all trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
Because you get like 5 pages in Shonen Jump, and then and then it gets released as a trade paperback, and so there'll be really like 6 or 7 stories in there. And in between those stories, you'll get these little ash cans. And, like, they made an entire episode out of what was literally, like, 8 panels in the book.
Well, that's pretty funny. But just to see how much you had to, like, what kind of a mountain there was of the manga.
Okay.
There are 938 chapters and 92 Tenkoban.
938?
Volumes. Yeah. chapters
in
92 volumes.
Okay, so there's only of those manga books. There's
Yeah.
only 92 of them.
Right.
And I can get the 3-in-1s.
Right.
Which 92 divided by 3. That's going to be 30. That's going to be 30 some odd.
I'm sorry. What was the equation?
92 divided by 3.
Let's wait for my calculator to load.
Oh well, mine already did. It was in my brain, and I was right.
92 divided by 3.
Yeah.
Well, you said some odd.
Yeah.
I was going to give you the exact number. 30.6 repeating.
Wow. You mean it was exactly 30 some odd?
I guess so.
Okay, wait. Okay, so take 30.66 and multiply that by 20.
What was it, 30? 33?
30.66.
Yeah. Times what?
Times 20. Which I should already know. I should already know that's
613.
Okay, that's how much it will cost for me to purchase them all.
Oh. Is that worth your time and money?
I mean, I like the way a good collection of manga looks on the shelf, so yeah, kind of. And the thing is that I'm enjoying the story too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's another one of those shonen jumps that break the mold. Instead of just being, oh, we're a high school full of interesting students. And there's a job board, and that's how all our adventures start. We just walk to the job board, and there's the plot of the story. You know, this is about some characters who want to do a particular thing, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful anime because there's a lot of. I imagine that a lot of the coloration is done digitally, but it masterfully recreates the effect of watercolor if it is done digitally. Or some of them might just be watercolor. The whole thing looks really good. It's bright, but it is screaming at you 100% of the time. The main character, Luffy, cannot settle down for 1 second.
Is it the long-armed dude with the hat?
Yeah. Well, he's a gum-gum dude, not a long-armed dude.
What's a gum-gum dude?
He ate the demon fruit. He ate the gum-gum fruit.
Oh.
And it made him a stretchy boy.
Oh, so that's actually a thing.
Yeah.
That's not just a... Okay.
Yeah, it's not just an aesthetic.
Right.
And it also takes away your ability to swim.
He can't swim?
Yeah, because all of the...
But he's a pirate?
Yep. All the demon fruits come from the sea. And, your penance for stealing from the god of the ocean is that you'll drown if you try to swim in it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I think you'd like it too.
You think I would like it?
Yeah, we'll just snuggle up with a bowl of popcorn, watch some, and read some anime.
Read some anime for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you believe that you're enjoying it more because it is Japanese words spoken with subtitles?
No, in fact, I had recently I started watching Akira. It's not that I didn't like it; it just started way too late. So I haven't finished it yet. I'm probably just going to start...
The movie?
Yeah. I'm going to start the whole thing over.
I had to start it over 2 or 3 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's just because it's pretty long. It's
a movie.
Yeah, but it feels long. It drains you.
A bit. But I was thinking, I'm going to watch the original Japanese version.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is that I don't think that is the intention of the piece. I don't think that's how it's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be enjoyed... by a Japanese audience listening to the Japanese language as they watch.
Right.
It's meant for you to hear the words coming out of the character's mouth so you don't spend all your time
It becomes
reading.
a real strain if you're just reading the whole time.
Yeah, which you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay, strain is a strong word for it, but you don't get to appreciate the art. And the art is just stellar. The animation
That's
is
half
stellar.
the reason you're watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the aesthetics.
Yeah. So that might be something I just buy.
Yeah.
Akira is not particularly long as a comic book.
They keep saying that they're making a live action of that, and I have not seen anything.
Why would they even bother?
I don't know.
They can't do better. They can't.
No, we can't do better.
Promise.
At all. No. I believe that's true.
Johnny Dim,
That's me.
you put a Game Boy behind us.
I did.
Tell me why.
30th anniversary of Game Boy.
Well, they don't even make Game Boys anymore, so I don't know what they mean by that.
Well, it came out 30 years ago.
Okay.
That's about it.
I got a chip on my shoulder about that.
About anniversaries, because if you stop making something, it becomes dead.
Yeah, it's not really... Well, not only that, but, I don't know
Well,
why...
they do that even for famous people.
like it's Benjamin Franklin's
Like
700th birthday.
right, yeah. Sometimes they'll do that for John, like
John
especially-
Madden.
I was gonna say
Not dead.
he's not dead yet. I was gonna say John Lennon
Okay.
because like they'll say that like, there'll be the whatever anniversary of the day he was shot or the day or his birthday. He would be so many years old if he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So the Game Boy. Some of them exist
And
still.
there are some famous Game Boys that have been shot.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You ever seen that shattered screen of a Game Boy? It's really sad.
Have you seen the really crispy one?
No.
Okay, so there was this dude, and I'm gonna get the story.
Actually, I think I know what you're talking
Yeah, I'm gonna get this all wrong, but like this dude was like, he was an American soldier in the Middle East.
about. Yeah.
And like he I think he got blown up, and so like his Game Boy is like crispy.
It's melted.
Yeah, but it works.
Right.
But the thing is like I don't know why the DS isn't part of the Game Boy line. You know, they just switched over. They're like DS. Like
yeah, right here. The unstoppable Game Boy survived the Gulf War bombing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a video.
Well, here I opened this up and just they can't see it, but yeah, we won't watch it.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, they've had a really great history of handhelds and the durability thing.
Oh boy.
Like, what?
Keith is. I'm seeing that our boy Keith is talking about One Piece over here. One Piece will never end. You said 31. Like Goblin Slayer and the Job Board. Luffy has ADHD to the extreme.
Yes, he does. Well, I don't. You know, he seems like a focused individual. As far as attention deficit's concerned, he can be pretty well focused. What's he saying?
He suggested the Headhunter sequel is Headhunter 2, all the action.
I like that.
Yeah.
But the thing about the Game Boy is that its durability is no fluke. Like that's part of the design.
Right. Absolutely. They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they do. They do. The DS.
The DS is pretty strong too.
Yeah. So the for research and development, the prototypes of the DS had a benchmark. They any prototype to be approved had to be able to be dropped onto a concrete surface. I think onto a concrete surface from approximately 1.33 meters.
Okay.
And the reason is that
That's where your pocket is.
the average distance of a breast pocket to
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know they literally said if you can't drop this thing, it's not worth making because you know if you make a crappy product that's made to break, people aren't going to like it. You know, like iPhones.
That's a good point, Keith. He said Game Boy equals Nokia phones. Nokia phones are pretty much indestructible.
Yes.
I was following what's his name, Chris.
Hemsworth
No.
to the bathroom.
Your improv is on point.
in a balaclava.
No, the guy that does he used to own Nerdist.
Chris Tabell.
It doesn't matter.
No, we know this. Kristen Shaw's a horse. Chris Pine. Chris Evans.
No.
Christy Yamaguchi.
I bet you Keith knows. He's about to say it.
Yeah. Chris. Are you sure it's Chris?
Yeah.
He was Attack of the Show.
Nope. Chris
Wait.
Hardwick.
Hardwick.
Yeah, Chris Hardwick.
He was Attack of the Show,
No, he wasn't.
wasn't he?
Oh, he was not a host.
Yeah, he was.
But he did it. Yeah, he did. You're right. He did some things on there.
Yeah, and I was this close because I just remembered his comedy band Hard and Firm.
It wasn't quite Leroy Jenkins, Keith. Huh? What?
I just remembered his comedy band.
Hard and Firm.
Yeah, there.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Particularly fond of the song "American Dinosaurs." Didn't he have a scandal?
He had one that they may have diffused, and it may have been unfounded,
Well,
but they don't
what
know.
was it?
It was his ex-girlfriend claiming that he was very abusive in their relationship.
Was it brought to trial?
They settled, I think.
They settled.
They either settled or I shouldn't say things like that because I really don't know what happened.
You can. Know
I can find
right
out
now.
But what I do know is that AMC did because he's the one who does Talking Dead and Talking Bad and all that kind of stuff. And they kind of put him on hold. They're like, okay, we're not going to put you on TV right now because of this thing. And they did their own private investigation and then said, oh, we don't think he did anything wrong, so we'll bring him back. I know that happened. I just don't know if they if there was actual lawsuit or.
Before you go singing this guy's praises.
I'm not singing his praises. All I was going to say was I followed him on Twitter, and he actually went home to his parents' house, or his mom's house, I think, and found in their attic like an old Nokia phone, and it powered up. He
didn't lose charge.
Yes, he turned it on. Yes, I think it was a Nokia phone.
That's ridiculous.
Pretty sure it was.
All right.
That's all. That's all I was going to say. See, AMC cleared him.
Okay.
But I don't even know if it was an actual lawsuit or anything.
Why is Chris Hardwick still a thing, according to GQ?
Oh, man.
The allegations, he was going out with somebody from the Disney Channel. It looks like Bjork.
She published an essay talking about it.
Hardwick being emotionally abusive while they were together. Early in their relationship, established some ground rules. She was not allowed to go out at night, have male friends, drink alcohol, go to public places. After a while, she became terrified of upsetting Hardwick. Okay.
So it was really just domestic stuff.
Emotional abuse, and at this point, it's speculation.
Right.
You know, and the thing is like we say the same thing about people that people like, like what's his name, James Gunn.
Yeah.
You know, James Gunn never went to trial, and like you just have to respect that fact.
Right.
You know.
We don't have any hard proof about anything.
Yeah. So the Game Boy.
Yep.
Any fond memories of Chris Hardwick and your Game Boy?
For me?
Yeah.
I was telling them during the pre-show, I only owned a Game Boy after their popularity had waned. There had been, at least the Game Boy Advance had been already out.
Okay.
And so I bought it because I wanted to play the original Pokemon. And I bought a cartridge of Pokemon Red. I put it in my new Game Boy, and I played for a couple hours. Went to turn it on later, after I turned it off, found out my cartridge was damaged. It won't save. So after that...
Wait. That's actually fixable. It's really fixable.
No, I think the cartridge was dirty. Like, it got dirt in it.
Okay.
And I think that's what caused it.
That's also a quick fix.
Yeah, if you open it and clean it or whatever. But either way, you can't do it now. Like, it's long gone.
What did you do to your cartridge?
I don't even remember what happened to the Game Boy.
It's still alive out there somewhere.
Somewhere it's out there. I just decided not to play my Game Boy after that. I just didn't.
And so that's the only...
I may have turned it back into Game Crazy.
That's the only exposure you've had to a Game Boy ever?
I mean, I've played my friends' Game Boys, but that's the only one I owned. Yeah.
Wow.
I did not play a lot of Game Boys.
Okay.
I was jealous for most of my childhood of everyone who had one.
My first one was a Game Boy Color. I had two games. I had Tetris DX, which was the bomb.
Yeah.
It had a really great soundtrack, was the weird thing about it. And then I had Pokemon Blue.
Sure.
And one interesting thing about Pokemon and its early influence with gaming is that it straight up it revolutionized what we thought about the Game Boy being and mobile gaming, what it was capable of doing. Revolutionized what we thought about it because there was a game. It was I think it was Final Fantasy Chronicles Second Story, which I also played, which is solid.
Oh Jesus.
What?
Keith is just chatting up a storm. But keep going.
That really pushed the boundaries of what you could fit in there. It was an action RPG. You know, people were running around, leveling up, hitting each other with swords and stuff like that. And it's just really engaging game. And the creator of Pokemon saw that game, and he was like, I bet I can make a really good traditional JRPG with like almost no animation in it whatsoever, and just stack data into this thing. Because if you play the original Pokemon, like there's like 2 frames of animation for anybody that's walking, scrolling environments, and in combat they wiggle a bit. That's it.
Yeah.
But it was just a classic because everybody liked the concept. Everybody liked the way you played the game, capturing stuff, and that really was the brainchild of the Game Boy. That's why there's no there are very, very few console releases. What is making that noise?
I think it's outside the house. I think it's our neighbors.
Okay.
But hi, Jeremy. Hi, Steve. And
Hey.
to get us caught up on Keith's input, he says Disney's to blame for the whole Chris Hardwick thing. And the truth is out there.
Is that what Jeremy added? Because he
No.
freaking loves the X-Files?
No, but Keith also said that he remembers playing Kevin Hastie's GBA. That is a mutual friend that I have not seen in a long time. I saw him only a couple times after we graduated high school. I did not graduate, but after they graduated high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He got his GED.
I did.
Look at him.
Hi, Mom.
His success story.
Yeah. I heard
High school's bull. You drop out now, kids.
Well, hold on.
Wait.
Not so fast.
Wait a whole
Because
minute, Zach.
I heard that they made the GED test harder. When I took it, it was so easy. It was so easy. But I've heard they made it harder, so don't do it yet. Learn your algebras first.
I mean, is it harder than sitting in a room for 4 years? And like,
I mean, if you're smart, you can probably take it and it'd probably be fine.
you probably study for it.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of study materials online.
Okay. The thing is that in our society, the GED is still looked at in an unfair way. So if you have the opportunity, go ahead and get your diploma.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. Play your Game Boy? Good luck.
But Keith was suggesting the best way to play the Pokemon Classic on Game Boy is actually to use the SNES with the Super Game Boy.
That's a good one.
I remember when the Super Game Boy came out. That was pretty cool. Basically, that was the first Switch. The Nintendo Switch. That was the first Switch. You could play your mobile games on your TVs.
Yeah, a primitive version
Right.
where switching over required you to literally save and stop the game.
Yeah, because you couldn't go the other way. You can't play your Super Nintendo games on your Game Boy. Yeah, that doesn't work that way. But I feel like the age of peripherals is definitely not as prevalent, because back when the Game Boy was around, that was the peripheral system. Like, you would buy a magnifying glass, you buy a cover for it, you buy the lights, because it didn't have a backlight. Yeah, you'd buy all these different peripherals, and that was like, that market is like Mad Catz. I don't even know if it's in business anymore, but they made a lot of money on making third-party controllers and a bunch of crap.
The worst thing, it was this mask that you slapped onto the front of a Game Boy Color, and the magnifier was cool,
Right.
But it also had, it was weird, like a turbo button system.
Yeah.
Where like it made it. Like, you got an extra button so you could tap the A button 2 different ways.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it also made the D-pad a joystick.
Which is terrible.
And that never
worked.
Ever worked.
It never worked.
And you can't even do that in Pokemon. And, like, at that time, it was the only reason that anybody was buying Game Boys. Was for Pokemon.
I just remembered something. If we're done with the Game Boy conversation.
We're never done with the Game Boy.
Never done.
This is a brief interlude in what will be a 69 episode series on the Game
I'll just tease it, because I'll talk about it next episode in more in depth. But I went to the comic book store and I got some cool stuff. I actually, Jeremy, if you're still watching, I took your advice. I got Savage Conan.
Savage Conan.
Yeah, and I got the first 2 issues. Not bad. It's good.
I want Chartered Accountant Conan.
Yeah.
Or Highfalutin Conan.
Absolutely.
Do you have the comics? Show us the comics.
Well, no, I want to talk about it next episode.
Television show. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, well, next episode.
Aw, wow.
I was going to tease it.
Are we running out of time?
No, but we did have other stuff to talk about.
You said we had nothing. That's
Not a
why
lot. I said I struggled to come up with topics. There's some stuff.
There's more stuff than usual.
We had to talk about Comic Palooza. There's a couple different things I want to talk about with Comic Palooza. Actually, no, you're right. That's it. We talked about everything else so far.
Yeah.
I can go grab them if you want to entertain the people.
Yeah, I'll entertain the people.
All right, cool.
Final Fantasy I don't know if I'm right about that. I kind of want to look it up. Let's see. Final. Of course, as soon as people are watching me, I can't type. Final Fantasy Game Boy Action. I really hate typing on other people's keyboards. Action RPG. Yeah, I guess it was just called Final Fantasy Adventure. Yeah, I think that's right. Final Fantasy Adventure. You could think of it kind of like if you ever played like a Game Boy Color Zelda game or something like that, it's close to there. The interesting thing about cartridges in general is that the system can stay exactly how it is, and then they can put cooler and cooler hardware into those cartridges, so you're getting like upgrades throughout. You know, that's like the FX chip for Star Fox. You know, they just turned the Super Nintendo into a 3D vector graphics system.
Right.
Because they were able to introduce new hardware with a new game.
What game are you talking about?
Star Fox.
No, before that.
Are
you talking about Star Fox?
No, I was talking about Final Fantasy Adventure.
Okay.
Because like this game, it would look primitive compared to any of the Game Boy Color Zelda games, which were pretty advanced. But you could think of it as a really good precursor, and unlike a Zelda game, there's actually a leveling up feature, which, you know, if you're in the mood for it, it can be something fun. It doesn't have to be every game. You don't have to level up Spider-Man.
That's true.
Spider-Man's perfect the way he is.
Yeah.
He can get new items later, or maybe a special black suit.
Uh-huh.
But that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Show us your gun hawks.
Show my gun hawks. Well, first, this was the Savage Sword of Conan.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is Jeremy recommended. He
pretty.
said it was a good book. When he recommended it the first time, and I was at the comic book store, they did not have any copies.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked again this time, and they had it.
I really like this right here. That reminds me of some of the original Metal Gear Solid artwork.
Mm-hmm.
It had, I think that's a watercolor. Of course, most things are digital now. But yeah, is it monochrome inside?
No.
No. Okay. Now it's full color. He's eating meat with a lady,
as Conan does.
and then he's
A flashback.
eating sharks.
Yeah.
Not 2 pages later.
It's not a bad Conan. I don't know. My understanding of the Savage lines of stuff. Well, they do them for different. They have them for different heroes.
Mm-hmm.
But my understanding is that it's a different take on the characters.
Well, I mean, trying to pin down a canon for comic books is a fool's errand.
I did not read a Conan book before this, but he's a very confident man.
I would imagine.
He just does what he wants.
Yeah.
And
Blissfully ignorant.
yeah, it does not even factor fear at all. Like
Yeah.
he just goes for it.
And with nigh infinite power, he gets knocked around, but he always wins. He's always strong enough to win.
So I got those. I definitely think those are good books.
Okay.
Now what happened was I was looking for I was browsing the shelf, just because I was like I kind of want to try something new. I always try to look to see if there's something else that grabs my eye, and just to try out. And this time I settled on. I said I don't know. I don't have a lot of exposure to westerns, and so I thought that was a whole kind of like in my library.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I want to see if there's a good western, and I saw this. This is Gunhawks, and this was part. I found this out after reading it, that it's got this 80 years of Marvel, and then this is the year they're celebrating the 80 years of Marvel, and they're doing a lot of different projects because of it. Gunhawks was actually one that was actually produced back. Whatever, this is 70s, 60s. I'm not exactly sure when they first started. But because of this, bringing Gunhawks back, they actually talk about the history of different westerns in the back couple pages of this particular comic.
Okay.
And they talk about Marvel's history with westerns, and they go over all these different comics called, like one's called there's actually this one guy in particular who loved the word kid, and he thought kid had to be in every title of a western. So you got like Apache Kid, Two Gun Kid, Arizona Kid, Texas Kid, Ringo Kid, the Kid from Dodge City, the Kid from Texas, Outlaw Kid, Western Kid, and Kid Colt. And
you know what's weird about that paradigm?
What?
It's DC Comics, but they had a cowboy character that I wish they'd bring back, Vigilante.
Okay.
And when it was decided that he was going to get a sidekick, they decided he was going to get a kung fu sidekick.
Of course.
And that became Stuff the Chinatown Kid.
Stuff?
His name was Stuff the Chinatown Kid.
That's messed up.
It's
weird.
Yeah, I don't know how messed up it is.
Not messed up, it's
that was
just
a
weird.
Slang. Like, if you use it as a verb,
right?
That's where you start getting
you get into trouble there.
Waters.
Speaking of,
oh boy.
So I got interested, but after reading all this history, I was like, I'm kind of curious about some of these comics. So I went and
You went on
eBay, and I bought
What?
some old school, the Rawhide Kid.
Wait, is it all just Rawhide Kid stuff, or is it just...
This pack is all Rawhide Kid. It's the same series. I think it's a 4 issues. I didn't even open it yet, but I think it's a 4 issue
It
deal.
is packed in an odd fashion.
It is.
Oh boy, I knew you were gonna do that. Okay.
No, sorry. Okay, so now I got. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second.
I love his look.
Yeah. So yeah, he's super. Just he's got the nice button. He got the buttons on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you call that.
I don't either. But it looks very buttoned up for a cowboy.
It looks like Bucky Barnes, honestly.
Now I don't know if they just did this because of the look, how he is so buttoned up.
Mm-hmm.
But what they did was they rebooted it in the '90s, and that's what I have here. This is the Rawhide Kid.
That is Western Bay forever, right
I'm
there.
trying to get it so there's not a glare. But you didn't see this. Look at the second one there.
Oh
now,
my.
The reason both of these
are different
what's interesting,
characters.
Well, hold on. Let me give you the rest of the backstory.
Okay.
This is a gay cowboy.
Okay.
So that's why I thought this was a really interesting reboot, and I wanted to read it. I want to read the original, and I want to read the gay reboot.
Okay, and the interesting thing about it is like you can definitely okay. I don't necessarily see a gay aesthetic in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there really needs to be one. It's just like this is just a rugged man,
Right.
right? And this is just he's fits right in with the gals, doesn't he?
Oh, there's a glare.
Blech.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of.
This one's really, really cute.
Yes.
And this one is the Michelob man, or the,
Right.
Yeah.
The
Michelin man.
Man, what's his name? Marble Man.
Okay. Explicit content.
Yeah.
And
In
it's,
both.
And it's not Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's Max Comics.
Yeah. So basically.
I've got porn right here.
Yeah, this is porn. You got porn. I mean, let's crack them open.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do it. All right.
Like we're not gonna show you.
You're right. We won't show you.
but
You'll see our reactions.
We're definitely reading dirty comics on the show right now.
Oh,
All right,
man.
Max Comics presents, and like the thing is like there's a lot of busty ladies on this, so like
Now,
you
let's see
can tell that.
what year was this?
Were these used? Are these secondhand?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh boy,
Why?
it's just they're already sticking together.
Oh boy.
Wow, an ad for Bulletproof Monk.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this.
That puts a date on it.
Okay, we got some chap action.
I haven't come across anything explicit.
Like he just hasn't worn a shirt.
Oh, and yours?
So far. This page was used. So it's and I just got away from the staple.
There you go. He's in his undies. Okay.
Well, that's not really explicit.
No, but it's the closest I've got so far.
like Conan's in his underwear
Right.
all day, every day. This was dog-eared. These two were dog-eared closed.
Oh God.
It's okay.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I mean
That's just where they stop reading.
still nothing explicit.
Nothing crazy explicit in mine. Just the underwear.
This is a big letdown.
Is there really no
Whoa.
chesticles?
There's some gore.
Okay, that's a little explicit.
Yeah, well, I
So-
mean, it's a gay cowboy thing, so you wouldn't like if you were gonna see something super explicit.
You'd think.
It wouldn't be chesticles.
Well, yeah, but the cover of the.
Oh, it definitely wouldn't be the cover. They never do that.
No, I'm saying I thought the cover would hint at something.
Okay. All right.
But that's what I got. So
Max Comics?
I'll read these and I'll let you know how they go.
I guess if you think just the idea of being gay is explicit, then you're right, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Not
at all.
enough for me, at least.
Right.
All right.
So that's what I did. That's what I got from the comic book shop. And that's what I got off of eBay.
Feels like the perfect way to end the show.
we have to talk about Comic Palooza.
We have to talk about Comic Palooza. Comic Palooza is a
No.
3-day celebration of just sexy cowboy comics.
Sexy cowboy comics.
What do you're not looking at social engagement. You're looking at levels. Is there a problem? Or
No,
are you trying to do
I'm
things?
just I'm just doing a thing.
Okay.
I got to switch.
And you said some things changed.
What?
You said you wanted to bring a Comic Palooza because some stuff changed.
I said some stuff changed.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I don't remember saying that.
You know what I want to do? Because we talk a lot about, making sure that our booth is engaging for everybody and that it's fun. You see a show, you win some prizes, you play some games.
Yeah, now, there's some news. There is some news
Yeah,
for you
Okay.
that you don't even know yet.
All right.
But we have the details, some details. Oh, my phone's dead.
Really padding this out.
No, we have some details.
What we have is news that will be something you haven't heard before, and that something is unique to what I was saying previously, because if I had already said it, it would no longer be news, implying here that what I am about to say, this news, is different from the stuff I was saying back then, but you already knew that.
Our
now,
panel.
On to the news.
Our panel. I have some details about our panel. So our panel and our live show. So we're doing Saturday, May 11th, 10:30 to 11:30. This is the...
Oh, that's a bad slot. That's a bad slot. I mean, we're not, we're not Roy Orbison. We're not that famous.
So this will be Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday, real early.
Yeah, so there is that's when our panel is called Content Creation in a Visual Medium. The details of which the description says, learn from local shows on how to put together video content, including editing audio and video. Panelists are members from the Comicpalooza podcast program, include the WarPod. Mm-hmm. That's us.
Yeah!
Jenny Kelly, Passion Nerdly.
Jenny Kelly.
I don't know. Nerd News Now, and Bayou City Geeks. Those are our fellow panelists and ourselves.
Don't we know the Bayou City Geeks?
Nope.
We don't know the Bayou
I
City
checked. We do not know any of these people.
Okay. We're going to make some new friends.
We are going to make some new friends. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, what is our role? We're just panelists? So we're not hosts?
I don't know if there is a host.
I mean, with
sometimes there's not.
With that many panelists, there really need to
there
be.
There should be.
I'll do it if need be.
Yeah, we'll make you do it. Well,
Yeah.
we'll reach out to these people and we'll talk about the show, what we plan on doing, how we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that we actually have, for the few people who do show up, because you're right, it's a weird odd time slot. For the few people who do show up and really want to hear from us, we will have a good show for you, and we'll give you at least an educational panel.
My hand keeps drifting to this comic book.
Quit it.
And it's right on some breasts.
Mm-hmm.
This is yours now.
Thank you.
All right.
So, but then also,
we
have the WarPod Show, and this is titled WarPod Thunderdome. 2 teams enter, 1 team leaves, slightly ahead of the other team. The description is the WarPod, with our hosts Zach Danimus and Johnny Dim, will be pitting Congoers against one another in a series of games and nerd trivia, where they will compete for prizes, bragging rights, and eternal glory. So that's what you have to look forward to there. We're actually going to have a lot of fun for our podcast. We'll be on the show floor.
Johnny Dim.
Yes.
Because this is your nom de plume. This is your go-to. This is the medium of your art. How crappy are the prizes going to be? Because you always put up some real shit.
Oh, we're going to have some real stinkers. I got some real good stuff for you. You've seen some of the DVDs, VHSs I got recently.
VHSs, in part, that's all you need to say.
But it's not all VHSs.
You're gonna get some laser discs. Laser discs are actually kind of cool by comparison.
Right, you're right. There's no way we are gonna have any laser discs. But no, we got some really interesting stuff. We're probably gonna give away. Well, you're going to have a lot of Perler Beat art.
Perler Beat art.
I'm going to have some T-shirts.
8-bit Jungle Boys.
Yeah, we're going to have plenty of stuff to give away. I think we still have buttons from 2 years ago.
That are no longer relevant because we
Yeah,
almost completely dropped the Quite Contrary
No,
branding.
we have not.
When's the last time we did a Quite... Okay,
we haven't done a Quite Contrary proper video.
The last Quite Contrary we did was Hellboy, and it was on accident.
Accident.
We said it was good.
Oh,
no,
you're right.
Agreed.
We haven't done, but the channel still exists, and I still put all the movie content that we do on this show. I will republish it there so other people can enjoy it. So Quite Contrary still does exist, and we will do a thing.
Okay.
We'll do another actual Quite Contrary episode sometime soon.
I want to talk a little bit about Johnny Dim's greatest hits when it comes to giving our fans crap.
Yeah.
So there was the there was the Darth Vader Hot Wheels car.
Correct.
A car, I think it was a pickup truck themed after Darth Vader.
Something like that.
Some DVDs of the Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego cartoon. Not the game show, not a copy of the game itself, but like just the stories about two kid detectives trying to find Carmen Sandiego.
You know what one of my favorites is?
What's that?
We actually had some kids last year that were really excited about our VHSs, and I got to give away Spice World to them, and it was one of my favorite moments from Comic Palooza.
Yeah.
Because they were excited about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a bad thing. It was funny. I'm not sure if this was their entire reason for being excited, but what they would do sometimes immediately after getting one from us is they would look on eBay and see how much it was going for.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was quite a lot more than I paid for them.
Yeah.
So
that's a good prize.
Yeah.
There was one I wanted to talk. Oh no, my favorite moment.
Yeah.
Was definitely I think it was our 300th subscriber.
Oh, that was great.
He got a certificate from us congratulating him on being the 300th subscriber to Quite Contrary. We took his picture, which he did not look enthused to be part of, and he threw the thing away. We found it in the garbage, not far from our table.
It was great. That was great. I remember we still have that picture somewhere. And yeah, he just is not even looking that excited.
It's because we do prizes. You know, there are lots of people who are going to come up and just don't care. You know who I miss? I think his name was James, our super fan. Like we met him at Comic. Jeff, super fan Jeff.
Yeah, he loves. What's the guy's name?
The main man.
Kiss Boy.
Yeah. I don't know. Dead.
The motorcycler.
Crap.
The
Deathlock.
Pudgy Mix
Lockheed.
Slapper.
You know what I'm talking about.
Lockheed. What the hell is that guy's name? Why did we just both blank on that?
I have no idea.
I'm really surprised you don't remember.
He's the main man.
I'm just gonna Google Kiss looking. Actually, I'll do it so you guys can see it.
Just like Justice League, the main, or Superman, the main man, and
Superman, the main man.
Superman, like that's his catchphrase. Superman. So he says it's the main man all the time. The main man, Lobo.
Yeah, you got it before I even pulled it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
The main man, Lobo.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Jeff, and I got an email back from him once because I was like, hey man, we got all this, we published this stuff, and
we were eating candies he gave us for like a month straight.
Gummies, yeah.
Yeah, back when we used to do the gummy.
Oh, I forgot about the gummy thing.
You forgot about the gummy thing? I think about it every day.
Do you really?
I really.
Why don't you ever say it?
Because
you think it's just dead and not coming back?
Yeah.
Some things are just meant to die.
Although you're supposed to not be engaging in the last 20 seconds of any given video, so they have an opportunity to click on the links.
But if you're not engaging enough, then you're just gonna leave before the links pop up.
Well, you're supposed to do it like exactly in the last 20 seconds, right when the links pop up.
Okay.
I think the overall problem is that we got too engaging.
Right.
Like there are always little plots in those where we were slapping each other.
I guess. I don't think it's a bad thing. But anyway, we can talk about strategy later. Since we're talking about Comic Palooza, we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. We've been highlighting different parts of Comic Palooza. This time, I would like to actually highlight the live entertainment that's going to be going on at Comic Palooza 2019.
They're going to be wrestlers?
I didn't see any wrestlers on here in this part. So Comedy Sports actually has a couple different things going on. They are an improv group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually recently worked with one of the guys that does Comedy Sports.
Doing what?
My job.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he was a new hire on this project I just got finished with in March. Nice guy, super nice guy. He told me he did Comedy Sports, and I think I'm gonna go check it out at some point.
Yeah,
it sounds really cool. These guys.
The Fairy Boys. You hate the Fairy Boys.
I don't like the Fairy Boys.
Don't know why.
It just bothers me.
Why?
I don't know.
They're just Fairy Boys.
They are just Fairy Boys. I think they're obnoxious for just being obnoxious.
The thing is that they don't do anything outrageous. They literally just dress up. That's their only crime.
And the thing is, they're here.
Yeah.
But do they have? Okay, their story began in 2010 when Wit talked to Dim into attending the Renaissance Festival in Texas dressed as winged fae. Since then, they bring their unique sense of humor and fabulousness to Renaissance festivals, comic conventions, parades, and charity events all over Texas, Louisiana, Arizona, Kentucky, and Georgia, with many more locations planned in the future. Their colorfulness has been seen on almost every form of social media, many newspapers, online as well as print, radio, and TV. But what do they do? Do they have a skit, a show?
They're just
just fairy boys?
They're just a couple of sloppy bears dressed up as fairies.
All right.
That's what they are, and that's all they ever needed to be entertaining, clearly.
Clearly.
Not gonna argue with results.
Okay, so the more X-rated stuff that might not X. It's not X-rated, but let's say
It's
PG-13.
sex-rated.
Yeah, PG-13 rated probably.
So you can say fuck once.
Once.
Just like this episode.
The Ken Dolls. It's a lovely ladies and gentlemen of the Ken Dolls invite you to a night of indulgence. If you love burlesque or enjoy a good show, stop by for 90 minutes of fun.
There you go.
So they had a one of the greatest moments of my life was Comic Palooza a few years ago. Actually, was it Comic Palooza? I think it was Comic Palooza. I don't think it was one of the other cons. We won't speak of the other con. No, we can't. I was kidding. But Space City Con, it's the one that...
What is that now? Is it anything now?
Well, apparently, the guy that ran it, or one of the guys that owns it, he's trying to sneak his way into owning another one. I think it's called Fandom something.
Right, but somebody always steals the slot.
What do you mean steals the slot?
Like, somebody's, like... there's always somebody, like, oh, there's people who are used to going to a con at this time of year. Mm-hmm. I'll just do one.
Oh, yeah. There's another one that this other guy was trying to start. I think they're all up in the air now. I don't think they even have dates. But I don't know who's taking the slot. But what I was trying to say was one of my favorite moments of my life was when I decided to sneak off. We were all in we were playing games up in the board gaming area. Uh-huh. And I saw everyone going in this long-ass line, and I found out that it was for this Lord of the Rings show, burlesque show.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, man, well, not everyone wants to go, so I'm going to stay with everybody here. Last minute, I changed my mind. I said, I'm going by myself. And the line was already gone, so I was like, I'm probably going to get a terrible seat. The thing was, there was a seat in the front row that was available because from that perspective, there's a giant speaker that's in the way. So there's a portion of the stage I couldn't see, but I sat right up front and I watched the show. And it was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Were you in the Gallagher splash zone?
No.
Okay.
But, and I don't mean that it was just like seeing people take off their clothes. No, it was...
It's then nothing wrong with that.
No, but I'm saying that this was multifaceted, the reason I liked it. Because the performances were great. There were people that were in less clothes. And then also the dancing was on point. Like these guys were professionals and they were very good at what they do. And just this, I thought it was a funny show too.
Yeah, burlesque usually is. Yeah. It's a little bit more because burlesque is an art form. Yeah, you know, and it's fun. Don't bring your kids. It's for adults, and it's okay that it's just for adults. Doesn't make it dirty or cheesy or slimy or anything. But like it's a lot better than just like I'm gonna get naked for everybody. Hello and goodbye. There's nothing to that.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there should be art form. There should be humor. There should be dancing. There should be thought, creativity.
It's a very full entertainment experience, and I enjoyed it. It was very good. I hope that someday they do that again, specifically the Lord of the Rings one because I love the Lord of the Rings.
I want Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. Deadpool burlesque.
Yeah, Headpool. Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, that's actually a little too dirty for burlesque. This would be more like Bedpool.
There you go. That'd be it. Yeah. So apparently, it's another dance group called Comic Crossover: Good versus Evil. The Axis Performing Artists presents a superhero-packed performance of dance, aerial skills, aerial hoop, aerial rope, and trapeze. So stuff that happens in the air, in and about the air.
Is this literally just those ingenues that dress up as Spider-Man for kids' birthday parties?
I don't know. I'm going to check my Facebook.
Okay.
See if Keith has said anything.
Oh, you know he has.
Oh, no, this is earlier. Oh, Brian Hinkle joined.
Brian Hinkle.
Hi, Brian. We haven't seen each other in a while. But he was just asking about if we've heard about the modification to the SNES emulation that makes the games look better on HD TVs.
And that was... Short answer is no. I was about to ask you a direct question, but there's no telling if you're watching. I don't know anything about it. Was that a modification made to the original?
I don't think so, and I'm going to see him tomorrow, so I can ask. I
go.
might see him tomorrow. It's Easter Sunday, so there's stuff going on.
Yeah,
family
and
stuff.
Keith is his brother-in-law.
Yeah. But no, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that maybe tomorrow. I'm really curious about what you're talking about because that was a problem for a while. People were complaining about how old systems, especially Super Nintendo, looks on an HD TV. It doesn't quite look right.
I like it.
It looks fine.
I like that it's super pixelated because that's the thing. Like basically, when we were using CRTs, the resolution was really crappy and it smoothed out all the pixels, and like that's got its own charm.
Right.
But like stuff looking super pixelated has its own charm too. There's nothing wrong with it.
All right, so another show, Fire and Ice. This is Christina Entertainment.
Fire and ice, they're on to you. A fire and ice.
Fire and Sideshow Act. A
sideshow.
Yeah, a fire and sideshow act including fire eating, fire breathing, dancing with fire with various fire props.
What's the difference between fire? Oh, I know the difference between fire eating, fire breathing.
And such as fire fans, fire hula hoops, etc.
Basically, we lit all our pool toys on fire. Come check it out.
As well as
It
performance.
ain't nothing.
That sounded like a Carl quote.
Yeah.
Hey, Fryman.
Good fry man, check out the pool. Filled it with gasoline.
As well as performances with a bed of nails. It is 100% safe and 100% awesome. Why aren't the nails on fire?
Right.
Reverend Butter. I think he's been in past shows too.
Reverend Butter.
He's ice sculptor.
Really?
What?
He's not even a butter sculptor?
That's what you should.
The marketing writes itself, Captain Butter. Reverend Butter.
What I want to see is I want him to take a giant chunk of ice and cut it into the shape of a butter stick and go, there, butter.
I want a cow butter sculpture in the shape of a cat.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Cats don't produce milk.
Technically they do, but you're going to be at it for a while.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, people don't drink cat's milk. That's an Office reference. Some people don't know.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. Musical group.
Improv, the musical.
Oh, good.
By Comedy Sports.
Actually, I've seen some pretty good musical improv.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's possible. It's possible.
Absolutely.
It's a tricky damsel to dance with.
I'm a fan of the original that used to air on the American networks. Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah. You like the ABC version.
Yes. And there's a video out there. You can find it on YouTube. They never aired it because you can actually find a few videos where especially what's the tall guy's name? Ryan
Stiles.
Yeah. He hated the producer because anytime someone a suggestion would come out that they couldn't air for whatever reason, the producer would be like, nope, we can't do that. Let's try again. And he would do stuff behind his back. He like act like he's kicking his ass and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But there was one where someone they were going to do a bit about Hitler, and the producer stopped it. And he said, let's do something else. And so what they did for the remainder of the show, they kept doing Hitler bits, even though they weren't supposed to. Just because they were referencing that one time the producer said they couldn't do the Hitler bit.
Right.
And it was hilarious. So go look for the Hitler episode.
Did they have to scrub the whole episode?
Yeah, they never aired it.
Is not scrap?
Yeah, they scrapped it. But someone put it up on YouTube, and it's fantastic.
Who was the producer on that? Like sometimes
I don't know.
These guys.
I don't know who it was. I just remember how much the people on the show hated him.
It was definitely that Chris Hardwick.
Yeah. I think at the time he was probably still on MTV.
Is he that old?
Yes, he was a.
He could have.
He did that dating show that they did on MTV. One of the original ones where they had a huge large group of people, and they would eliminate them big chunks at a time.
I never saw that one.
Okay. I think it had Jenny McCarthy. Jenny McCarthy was the other host.
MTV was useful for the following things.
Music videos, once upon a time.
I was never that invested in music videos.
I was.
So the Max, Syphil and Ollie, Jackass.
I know Jackass.
Daria.
I never really got into Daria.
I got into Daria. I tried going back. Didn't age well.
Yeah.
But I liked it as a kid. and like when I was really young, Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead's not funny
Aeon
anymore.
Flux.
You know, I discovered Aeon Flux way after the fact.
Okay.
It's solid, but I didn't watch it at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one's still a lot of fun.
It is. It's
It's
good.
it's on Amazon, but it's one of those things that's not included with Prime.
Oh, damn.
I know.
I actually started watching some old episodes a few years ago, and I really liked it.
Mhm.
Anyway, Comedy Sports. They're doing the musical group thing, improv. Go check that out. Performance group. Commander Kibby. He's a magician, I think. Yeah.
What? Why does it say?
Commander Kibby,
Why does it
a.k.a.
say Lanny Kibby?
Lanny Kibby. It says Commander Kibby, a.k.a. Lanny Kibby, was
Okay.
born into a family of entertainers and began performing professional magic shows at the age of 12. Lanny was Lenny has delighted audiences all over the world with his unique brand of magic. The Commander Kibby Show is a steampunk-inspired illusion and comedy show with a neo-Victorian theme, combining state-of-the-art illusion, sleight of hand, side-splitting comedy, and plenty of audience interaction.
It's
He's
a
got a-
tall order.
Yeah,
Okay, it's not what I was thinking of.
I know who you're thinking of.
Yeah,
You're talking
there's
about
this
Whip guy.
No, not Whip Guy.
Okay.
There's this guy, and he does various like juggling tricks, and he rides like a really tall unicycle. And every con for like 3 days straight, he just goes out there and wrecks his voice.
Yeah.
Because he's got no PA system.
Yeah.
He sets up randomly next to usually next to a column. I think there's a reason for that. As I never stopped to watch the show. He always gets a pretty decent crowd
I
going.
think that's the Whip guy. He has at least one part of his act that has a whip.
Maybe he does a lot of fine manipulation and juggling stuff, but man, he needs to start a GoFundMe to get a mic, just a mic and a belt pack, you know.
Yeah. Now, okay, this is the Royal Mystic Order of Chaos. This is a particularly a group that actually puts on the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think they're the ones that do it down in Clear Lake.
Really?
I think so. Because I looked at one of their pictures on their site, and it looked like it was that same theater.
Go through some pictures because
these?
I got a friend of mine who oh wait, no, not in Clear Lake. He does it in the person I'm thinking of does it in Montrose.
It looks like they're doing the whole show without the movie.
Okay, I mean it was originally a stage play that I've been in.
Oh, there it is. No, they're playing off to the side.
There's Doctor Strange.
Well, they usually these are not actors. The ones in capes here, the Robin and Doctor Strange, because what they usually do is they usually get people from the audience to play.
Yeah, to play Ralph and Betty.
I played him once. I played Ralph once. You don't? No?
Hapshat's better than no shat, dipshat. It's a culture. It's a whole thing. I don't expect you to understand.
But it is a whole thing. It is definitely a whole thing. But this seems like this. I think this is the same group. I'm not gonna read all of that, but basically it talks about Rocky Horror Picture Show and how it's a cult thing, and everybody remembers their time going, and it makes its own stories. It's a lot of fun.
One note, one teeny tiny note, Rocky Horror people. I would go with the Royal Commoners Order of Chaos. So like it's two diopposed ideas within it. That would be my thing. I don't know, Johnny. You got a note for them?
I don't.
No.
Mm-mm.
I
I just hope that they don't do anything that they
to me.
No. Yes. But I really don't want them to do what they did to me. I don't want them to do this to anybody else. When I was a virgin, when I went, they made me talk out my ass like Ace Ventura, and I did not like it.
Yeah, because it had been a long day. You'd been sweating.
Yeah.
And like you just weren't.
I had a sweat crease right down.
You weren't feeling confident opening up your cheeks.
I wasn't.
In a room full of noses.
No. Not at all. Not at all. Actually, that was a first date too. So.
You know what? That's always a solid first date.
Yeah, it was an interesting one.
Always is. I've been on that date.
Yeah. Okay. And also, the last thing we got here, there's a Star Wars unscripted by Comedy Sports.
That sounds perfect. I want to see that badly.
I think they're reenacting. I read this earlier. I'll just read it now. What if Owen Lars's moisture farm was a meth lab? What if Luke used yoga instead of the Force? It's all up to the audience to decide in a hilariously raunchy parody that is never the same show twice. Improvisers mix up the 1977 sci-fi classic Star Wars: A New Hope, using audience suggestions to reinvent the characters and situations, and encouraging the audience to cheer, jeer, and participate throughout the show. Not what you thought it was?
Pass. No. I thought they were literally just gonna try to do it from memory.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do something like similar to that with Willow. But that was,
Of course you did.
but I didn't want to act it out. I just wanted to say every line that I remember from beginning to end.
How much time do we have?
No, we're not doing that now.
I feel like it's none.
We're not doing that now. I have to at least have seen it in the last 2 months before I want to try something like that.
Okay.
Just so I can try.
I'm surprised that isn't the case.
Me too.
All right. Next week, here's something I want to do. I want to tease something for next week. So
Go for it.
One thing that we haven't done, or maybe you guys have been doing because I have not been paying attention to the Warlocks chat at all.
Okay.
But I think that we should spend an episode brainstorming ideas for games, interactions, prizes, etc. And so like that'll be the show. Is you'll see the inside scoop on us figuring out how to bring the best Comic Palooza experience to you, the viewer.
I like that. I like
like
that
that?
idea. Yeah. So you're talking about just doing stuff at the booth, or you're talking about during our show during the actual podcast?
The booth. My passion is making the booth fun.
Sure.
Because so many booths just aren't.
Yeah, they phone it in. I've seen booths where we know how much these booths cost. And I've seen booths of people that literally have nothing to sell, nothing really to talk to you about, just a couple business cards on the table, and that's it. And that's boring. Don't do that.
Some of them.
That's not worth your time.
Yeah.
Whoever's doing that booth, you just need to make it worth your money.
Yeah. My favorite, and there are cosplay people out there that are really pouring their heart and soul into their hobby.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. But if your booth is just that you exist.
Yeah. You got to have something to
Get
interact with. You have to be, personally, I think the first thing you got to do is you have to be a very personable person. You need to talk to your fans.
They usually are.
And a lot of them are. And
Yeah.
the ones we've seen, and we've talked to some of them. We had one on the show. Our first year, we had the podcast program deal.
Belshare?
Yeah, she came on our show. And it
Belshare, really talented lady.
great. She's great. I mean, if you have prints for sale, have stuff that's con exclusive. Bring people to your booth. This is me just pitching away my new DVD set, how to run a Comic Palooza booth.
Okay, here's one thing. Any aspiring cosplayers out there, you want to come to Comic Palooza, here's my suggestion. Get a green screen.
Yeah.
Set it up at your booth.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can take photos with fans and they can put anything they want behind them. Make a hashtag on Twitter or something like that. Say hashtag like Major Marvel green screen. And like it'll be like a competition. Everybody gets to show like different weird scenarios that they were able to put you guys in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
Or you know what? Bring a friend who's tech savvy and be able to maybe make some scenarios right there that you can email the fan.
Sorry.
I feel like it's your turn.
No, it is my turn. This just announced for Comic Palooza.
An exclusive.
Wilmer Valderrama. He will be at Comic Palooza. That is awesome.
Famous for his baseball playing character in Raising Hope.
Absolutely.
He's also Fez.
There's also Wilson Cruz also is going to be there. Star Trek, Discovery, 13 Reasons Why, My So-Called Life. I don't know if this.
Chris Mooneyham?
Nightwing, Five Ghosts, Predator. He's an artist, I think, or a writer.
Buzz.
That's his name.
Justice Society of America. Batman and the Max. That's actually pretty solid. Terry Kirkman.
Earth 2, World's End, Green Lantern Corps, Deathstroke.
Leslie Hung.
She co-creator of Snot Girl.
Mm-hmm. Which that was a what do I want to say? Brian Michael Bendis. It's the guy who did Scott Pilgrim.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michael Cera?
No, that's the actor.
The guy who made the comic.
Brian Lee O'Malley.
Okay.
Brandon Lee O'Malley.
And Jamal Ingle? Or Eigel? Egley?
Igly? Igloos.
Looks like he worked on Nightwing.
Looks like he worked on them guns is what it looks like.
He did. He did. And he's wearing a shirt that says black.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I mean,
I noticed. Leah Mitterum. You try that one.
huh? That's
Mitternique?
Mitternique. Yeah.
She did Man-Eaters.
Man-Eaters.
I said that like, oh yeah, that's how you say it. All right. One more, I think. How many more are there? Oh, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of people. There's a bunch new comic book artists, authors, and Wilmer Valderrama.
Did I tell you the thing that I learned about the character named Fez? that it's a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's foreign exchange student, Fez.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I had no idea. All right. I think that's all we got. That's all we got. We're done. We're pooped.
Ending not with a cry, but with a whimper.
With a whimper.
Yeah.
That's all I've got left.
Okay. So on that note, we would like to invite you all. Well, first, thank you for staying so long. All the way to the end of the show. We also want to invite you all to like, comment, and subscribe on whatever platform you happen to be watching us. Thank you to everybody who engaged with us on Facebook. We didn't really check YouTube.
We did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. But thank you to everybody who engaged. Thank you for everybody watching. This is going to be a permanent video up on YouTube. So if you like our content, we would very much suggest, we urge you, we beg, we plead with you, share it with your friends if you like what's going on over here. And the next time you see an alert that we're going live, share it on Twitter, share it on your Facebook, share it down local Piggly Wiggly. It's always a good idea.
Share it on almost all the social media platforms.
Bouncing your boobs.
Oh, that was really. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.